My name is Sal Salvetti, and I'm a horse massage therapist, and I'm working with a mare owned by Christina Venias, a dressage horse. And yeah, I mean, I spend my winters in Florida, and I spend my time during the summertime in most of the East Coast CDIs. I do a good number of the team dressage horses. I've been to a number of World Cups, World Equestrian Games, Pan Am Games, Aachen Nations Cup, and I spend my winters down here in Wellington from January through April.
Yeah, can you show us a little bit of what you do?
Yeah, sure. She's a little bit reactive in the neck. But I work on them. I work on them in the stalls, and you know you can see why, because it's important for me to get clear and honest feedback from the horses, and if I've got them tied in the cross ties, that's impossible. And I'll also find that they'll position themselves where they need to be positioned in order for me to get to where I need to get to. And just this, in order to work into the base of her neck and the lower cervicals of her neck, I wouldn't be able to do this on cross ties. And I do the whole horse. It's a deep tissue sports massage. It's the same as you would get, except I'm doing it on a 1,200-pound athlete, which takes a little bit out of me. But to be honest with you, working on horses is easier than working on people, because their feedback is pure and instantaneous. She's a sweetheart.
And who is this horse?
Her name is Karina, and she's six-year-old mare. And if there was ever a young horse that had true international Grand Prix potential, it's this little mare. She's got it all beyond the physical ability, which is first rate. She has the brain and the temperament, which is, as you know, you can have all the physical potential in the world, but if you don't have the sensibilities to go with it, then it doesn't matter. And this girl, and she's gorgeous.
How often do you come and do the horses here at Stillpoint?
I'm usually here once or twice a week, actually. I probably have 20 horses that I work on in this barn. And as far as frequency goes for each individual horse, it just sort of depends on the individual. Sometimes we'll be in situations where it behooves us to have me work on them, often in a short period of time in order to get through something that may be a little bit crucial or acute. But most of the time, it's just up to what the rider feels is necessary. I've got probably the majority of the horses I'm working on are on a 1 week or every 2 week rotation, and then more often if needed in between then or at the horse shows.
And what does something like this, like an adjustment for a horse, cost?
Well, this is a massage, so not a chiropractic adjustment. That's an important distinction. And I charge $100 regardless of the amount of time it takes. Typically, it takes somewhere around an hour. Sometimes we'll go over. It just depends whatever is necessary. And then when we travel to horse shows, I'll adjust my rate at the horse shows so that, look, when you're at a horse show, you're not necessarily doing a full massage on the horse. You may be, wanting to work on a shoulder or a hindquarter, or, get the back warmed up before a class or something like that. And then I'll adjust my rate to make it easier for the riders to use me more often.
How many horses would you give a massage to?
6 a day is perfect, and I can do 6 a day for 100 days. Every now and then it'll be 7, 8. You start getting into 8 and 9 or more horses a day, then it'll affect my next day, and I'll have to do fewer. But 6 is perfect. 6 a day is perfect. My website is www.salmassage.com, and that's just me. And if you Google me, a lot will come up. December 2011 issue of Dressage Today magazine, there's a technical article, and then the Chronicle of the Horse last summer did a piece in the end of July as well. And I've got a lot of information on my website, and I have video available at dressageclinic.com, so you can find me there as well. It's a little hard to find me there with all the trainers, but I'm there. And you can find me there too. Yeah, I guess. Sorry.
Sal does all of Lee Tubman's horses, De La Rosa, Vegas, and Delight.
I actually work on a lot of Canadians' horses.
Yep.
I mean, it's time for me to start making trips to the Toronto area in the summertime.
We'd love to have you.
And I'm only up in Boston, and I'm in New England anyway, so it's not that far to go.
And do
Perfect.
you do more dressage than hunter?
Yeah. And you know, that was really intentional. I mean, before I started my practice, I was a stable manager for dressage stables. So it was the dressage trainer that, you know, gave me my first chance. So that's where it developed. But I also have I love dressage, and I love the nuances of it and the minutia of it, and the fact that, you know, they need to be as good to the right as to the left, and that's a particular challenge. And also, you know, in general, I think that the dressage professional is also one that is going to, they have to feel more, and they also tend to be better at communicating to me what it is that they're feeling, and I really count on that. I mean, I count on seeing them go as often as I can, but what's crucial is what the rider can tell me, and the minute subtleties of what they're feeling in any given movement or condition, and I use that to accomplish what I accomplished with the horses.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll let you get back to giving this pretty girl a massage, because she looked like she was enjoying it.
It's my pleasure. Thanks.